Welcome back to another Flutter tutorial. In this video, let's learn how to work with NavigationRail widget in Flutter. NavigationRail widget is another widget used for navigation, but is designed to be used for large devices such as desktop or tablets. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to work with NavigationRail widget and also how to create dashboard page in Flutter for desktop and tablets. So if you want to follow along, you can create a new Flutter project and then select the empty template. And inside of it, you can create a folder called assets. And inside of this assets folder, create a new subfolder image. And then you can find a link on the description. So you can download this image and place it inside of this image subfolder. After that, open this pub/spec file and add this section right here for assets. And then provide the path to our image. So just click right here on get package or save, and this will update this file right here. So for this video right here, you can see we have main.dart, and here inside of it, we are returning a scaffolding widget. We'll create a new file right here called home underscore page dot dart, and let's select the option right here to be stateful widget. Change the name right here to be home page. We are selecting a stateful widget because we have many options for our navigation rail, so we want to keep track of the selected index and then render the content based on that index. So here, instead of returning this placeholder, let's return a scaffolding widget and then call this body property. So now let's go back inside of this main.dart and then replace this scaffolding widget with home page widget. So save everything. Here, let's call a row widget. Like I said, the navigation widget is used for large device like desktop or tablet. So we use it to add side navigations. So that's why we are using a row widget. The idea is to have right here on the left side to have the navigation rail, and then on the right side to have the main content. So for this main content, I want this widget to be expanded and fill all the available space. So call the expanded widget, and here will render based on the select index. So come right here. Let's create a variable. This will be int, and let's call this a selected index. Initially, this will be equal to 0, so we'll get the first item inside of this list that we'll create right now. So create another variable. This will be a final. This will be type of list, and let's constrain this list to be widget and call this content. Inside of this list, we'll add 3 containers, each container for each option in this navigation rail. So call the container widget. The width will be 100 pixel. The height will be also 100 pixel. And then the color, you can use colors.red, and then call the alignment enum. Call the alignment enum with the value of center. And then for the child, we'll have a text widget. The text for this first option will be dashboard. Give it a comma, and then call the style property, call the text style, and let's use the color white to give it a contrast between the background color for the container and this text. So now give it a comma here, and then copy this container widget and paste it 2 more times. So for these 2 containers, let's change the text and also the color right here. This will be blue. The text will be analytics. This one will be settings, and the color will be green. You can also change the width and the height. So this will be 300, this one will be 300, and this will be 200. So now for the child, I want to use a column widget. So call the children property. And here you can do contents and dot, and then use this method element at, and then you use this selected index. So let's center everything. So main axis alignment in with the value of center, and then call the cross axis alignment with the value of center as well. So this will center all the contents inside of this column widget right here. So with all this in place, let's save and see what we have so far. As you can see, we only have this dashboard page because we are selecting this first selected index. So now let's call it right here the navigation rail. We need to provide by default these two properties which is required. The destination, this will take a list of navigation rail destination widgets, and then the selected index. So right here, the selected index will be equal to our variable select index. And here for the destination, we can call right here a list. Let's make this a constant. And here we can call the navigation destination widget. So right here, add a comma. And now let's have a divider between this navigation rail and this main content. So we can call vertical divider, give it a comma right here. And then we can provide the thickness. This will be 0.5. And then the width, this will be also 0.5. And then the color, you can use colors dot gray. So now let's focus our attention inside of this navigation destination rail widget right here. So if you hover over it, you will see we have this selected icon, we have this icon, and also this label. These two are required and the other ones are optional. So let's also call this selected icon. Right here, the difference between these two properties, this selected icon, as the name suggests, when you select this navigation destination widget, this icon will be displayed, and this icon will be displayed before this one being selected. So what I like to do is call the icon widgets and then call the icons for the selected with the field version of this icon. So let's call the dashboard, and then copy this widget right here, replace it here, and then select the icon using the outline version. And then for the label, you can call a text widget, and here for the text, this will be dashboard. So now copy this widget, add a comma right here, paste it 2 more times. So this one will be analytics, and this one will be settings. So let's also change the icons. So this will be analytics, and then right here, analytics outline, and then settings outline. So with all this in place, save this widget right here. So now reload everything. Let's view the result right here. You can see the navigation rail is placed, and here is the divider, and this is the content. And now let's see if anything is working. As you can see, nothing's working. This is because we need to define the callback method inside of this navigation rail. As you can see, after these two required property, you have this function right here. On destination selected, this property will expect a method that return a void, and you will get an int as an argument. So let's define this method. So come right here after this selected, give a comma, and call on destination selected. You can copy the same name, but the method has to be private, so use underscore and place it right here. So now let's define this method. So after the list right here, this has to be void, paste the name right here, and then we'll get an int as an argument, so call this position, and inside of it just call set state, and then our selected index will be equal to this position. Add a semicolon, save everything, let's view it. So now when you click on this other options, you can see we are displaying different contents based on this selected index. So now let's focus our attention inside of this navigation rail, but now let's see how we can customize it to create our dashboard. So if you hover over it, you will see we have a list of properties. The first property we have right here is the background color, and then we have this extended widget. So first let's add this background color. So call the background color, and then you can call colors dot and select this method from RGBO. So right here for the red, this will be 20. For the green, this will be 30, and then for the blue, this will be 26, and the opacity will be 1, and then call this extended. Right here, by default, the value will be false, so let's define right here true and see the behavior. So save everything. As you can see, this will open. So this navigation rail can be collapsed or extended. So to make it dynamic, we can create a new variable of type boolean. So come right here, create a boolean. This will be, let's give it the same name right here. So private extended. Initially, this will be equal to false. So copy right here, replace it instead of this true for the value. And then after this body property, let's add a floating action button. So call a floating action button property, and then call the floating action button widget. Right here inside this onPress method or callback, we can call this a set state, and then call our variable right here. Extended will be equal to exclamation mark, and then call extended again. So right here, whatever value we have on the right side, this will be the opposite. So now let's style this floating action button a little bit. So call the background color, and then you can call color dot and use this method again. So right here the value will be 20, 30, 26, and for the opacity the value will be 1. Let's add a foreground color, and then call the colors dot white to give it a contrast, and then call the shape property. You can use right here this circle border, and then you can provide a child for it. So here I will use this is extended. So if this is extended, I want to display one icon widget, and then if it's not, I want to display another icon widget. So right here you can call the icons dot full screen exit, and this you can call icons dot full screen. So save everything. Let's view it right here. So now this is collapsed. So now if you click on it, this will be expanded, and then when you close, this will be collapsed again. As you can see, the icon is still changing as expected based on this extended value right here. So now let's keep on customizing our navigation rail. So we have the background color, the extended. Now we also have other properties that you can use right here. We have the leading and also the trailing. So let's use for the leading. Let's check this if this one is extended, question mark. We want to use a container widget. Otherwise, I want to use circle avatar. Right here for the circle avatar, I can add a background color or a background image. So let's use the background image that we have the path provided right here. So just copy the path right here and then replace it right here. So add a string, paste it, and also let's provide the radio for this circular widget. So right here the radio will be 25. We also can provide a child. So after this background color, call the child property, and this can be a text widget. Let's make this widget actually a constant right here. And then for the text, this will be dev. And then let's apply some styles to it. So call the text style. And then for the color for the text, let's use colors.white to give it a contrast. So now let's focus on this container. We'll define the minimum weight for this container will be 200. And then for the height, this will be 100 pixel. And then let's call the alignment property, call the alignment enum with a value of center, and then call decoration, call the box decoration property or widget, and then call the image, call the decoration image, and then copy this path to this assets widget right here. So give it a comma, and then let's define the fit property. This will take box fit with a value of cover. So after that, you can call right here a child. And now let's copy this text widget with these properties applied to it. Copy this text widget, replace it right here. But now the text will be DEVDSNDUO. So now save everything. Let's view it if this is displaying correctly. As you can see, when it's collapsed, we are using this circle avatar. So when you extend it, we have this container. So now let's make this navigation rail have the same weight as this container when it's expanded. And then when we collapse it, this will take this value right here, let's say 100 pixel. So you have these two properties right here. The minimum weight, this is when it's collapsed, so this will be 100. And then the minimum extended weight, this will be 200. So save everything. Let's check it. So when you expand it, you can see now the container will fill all the available space. So as you can see, we're not able to see the labels. So let's do some customization for the label and also for this indicator and the icon. So for that, after deleting, before this destination, we can call this selected icon theme. Let's select the icon theme right here. The first thing I want to do is add a size. So this will be 28. Give it a comment and then call the color. So we'll do right here a check if this is extended. I want the color of this widget to be white. So we can call right here, if extended question mark, you can use colors dot white. Otherwise, you can use colors dot green. For this unselected icon theme, you can use right here the icon theme, and then you can use color, and you can use colors dot white. Give it a comma, and then for the size, this will be 24. And now let's define the label. So for this, unselect the label style, call the text style, and then you can call the color, call the colors dot white. And then for this, select the text style. You can use text style and again call the colors, but now the color will be green. So call the colors dot green. So with all this in place, save it and let's view right here the behavior. As you can see, the color is changing. So now let's expand it. As you see, the color is white. So now let's change the color of this indicator. So when this is collapsed, let's remove this indicator color. But when it is expanded, this color has to be green. So you can come right here, call the indicator color. Let's check if this is extended. Question mark. Let's say for if it's extended, we use colors dot white. But if it's not extended, you can use right here colors dot transparent. You can also change it right here the indicator shape. If this is extended, you can use circular border. Otherwise, the value will be null. Add a question mark right here. Save everything. So right here, when it's collapsed, we have no indicator color. But now when it's collapsed, we can see right here the color is white. So let's change this color. So right here for the indicator color, it has to be green instead of white. So save it, extend it. As you can see, our dashboard starts to looking a little bit better. So now let's add a trailing widget right here. So you can come right here after the deleting. Before this selected icon theme, you can call this trailing. So we'll do basically the same thing. Check if it's extended. I want to display a container widget. For this container widget, the weight will be 200. And then call the decoration, call the box decoration. And here, I just want to add a border. So call the border. And then the value will be just for the top, call the border side. The weight of this border will be 0.3. And then the color for this border will be white. So colors dot white. Let's also add some paddings to this container, but only for the top. So just select the name constructor only, and then for the top, the value will be 10 pixel of border. So after the box decoration, call the alignment property, and then call the alignment in with the value of center, and then call the child. And then for the child, we'll use a text widget, and then for the text, this will be Flutter dashboard. And then right here, if this is not extended, we don't want to display any widget for the trailing. So save everything. Let's apply some styles to this text widget. So come right here, call the text style first, and then color. You can use colors dot white. So save everything. Let's extend it, and you can see right here we have this trailing widget. Now if you want to align the items inside of this navigation rail, we have this property right here after the trailing. Let's add this property, which is the group alignment. So this will take a boolean. So if you provide the value 0.0, these options will be centered. If you provide the value as 1, this will be placed at the bottom. And then if you provide the value as -1, this will be placed at the top. So now let's over it. Let's see if we have any other problem that I didn't show you. You can see right here you have the label type. This will take the navigation rail label, and the value can be all to show all the label, none to don't, so you don't show any label, and then we have this selected to only show the selected label. I'm not going to use this one. As you can see, we already use all the properties from this navigation rail for customization. So this is it for this video. As you can see, this is how we can create dashboards in Flutter. Again, use navigation rail when you want to target a device large such as desktop or tablets. So this is it for this video. If you find this video useful, give it a like and also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notification when new videos are coming out. This is it. See you on the next one.